some friends of mine and I wanted to exercise to get back in shape after our children were born, and there was no place to do that, and there was no child care here at the Y. So we wanted to take an aerobics class, and some of the other mothers and I took turns keeping each other's children upstairs on the main level. That eventually led to Mrs. Lusk being hired. You may remember her, Jamie. And I can't remember if the Y paid her or we paid her eventually, but that kind of grew, and then the Y now, today, has free childcare for members to be able to come exercise, which I think is a great thing. A young little boy developed cancer and died, and his family, his grandparents, gave a gift of redoing the tennis courts. So I was a tennis player, enjoyed playing tennis, and helped with some of the leagues. And by that time, that was in the 80s, I think, I was on the Cleveland Street board, which was then called Cleveland Street, and then started with the scholarship campaign, which has evolved over the years. So moving forward today, I feel like I have been a part of some other developments with the Y, which I didn't even think about. People just excite each other about the mission of the Y and giving so somebody else can have and enjoy the benefits that the Y offers. Because I think the enthusiasm of the people on the board just bled into everyone else. So it was kind of an energy was produced from that, and it made you want to ask your friends, who in most cases were very willing to do that. And I'll go back a little bit to the swimming. After we did aerobics and after we did the tennis, I used to go in the pool with some friends that were doing the same, and we would cool off in the pool, and that eventually led to laps and deep water exercise and water cycle. So I think all of that fits into my interest in the water aspect of the Y. Well, and I think it does go back to my own beginnings in the water. I was not a competitive swimmer growing up. I was around water all the time, and I just love it. It helped me when the babies were little to lose weight and maintain weight, but then as I got older, I realized it did so much more. Body, mind, and spirit, as is the motto of the Y. And so it's hard for me to imagine someone not knowing how to swim and how to learn to love the water, or at least be comfortable in the water. So when the opportunity came up and I knew that they had the daycare and the after-school program, I just thought, a lot of children don't have an opportunity to swim, and I think it's very important that they be exposed to it and hopefully learn to love it like I have. And I feel like when someone finds a passion for themselves, it's easy to want that passion to be generated in other people. Just areas of interest that have meant something to me in my life. I think that if there is a need that I feel needs to be enhanced, then that would lead me to explore to see what the needs are. And if it's equipment for one entity or lessons or education for another, or something cultural in the community that maybe I was or wasn't exposed to, that maybe I would have been like to be exposed to in some instances, then I guess that's sort of how my thought process goes. I think the spirit of the Y is so filled with energy and camaraderie and fellowship. And a lot of people don't have that venue in parts of their lives. So I really feel like the Y is a great gathering spot. And I see the different groups that make a purpose to get to the Y at a certain time of day or week for a special group of friends that they want to be around. And that spreads outside of the Y to just other activities to do together in the community. I've made lifelong friends here that started here, and this is our core, if you will. Being able to make an impact on somebody else's life is heartwarming. It's valuable to me that perhaps there's some small thing I can do along the way that might make a difference for another individual or another group. And that gives me great satisfaction.